We're LARPers. Live action role playing.
It's a renaissance.
You're gonna want to see this.
That's totally unfair.
What?
As knights, elves, and ogres battle evil. Felicia Day guest stars.
I love you.
I know.
Supernatural, all new next Wednesday at 9.
Hello and welcome to Gang
That drink. That was a good one.
a supernatural drinking game podcast. It's the podcast where we watch some of our favorite episodes of our favorite show, Supernatural, and we make up drinking game rules. We play along with those drinking game rules, and then we recap the episode for you and let you know how those rules played out so that you can cultivate for yourself the perfect supernatural watch list and drinking game. I am one of your hosts, Krissy Lenz, and with me as always is your other host, Nate McWhorter.
Woohoo! Hello.
We're both improv comedians at the Neighborhood Comedy Theater in downtown Mesa, Arizona. And we're pretty excited tonight, right, Nate?
Oh, so excited. So very excited. Because we're talking one of your favorite episodes.
Yes, and this one I think will fall through the cracks now and then, but it's worth remembering. Although I think we should say this seemed like it might be a cursed episode since we tried 6-7 times to record and something came up to thwart us every time. But now, because of the way things worked out, you have a fun fact for us.
Yes. I have a very fun fact. So we've postponed this recording due to several various ailments, reasons, and other things and mistimings. But due to that, the forces that be have put us actually recording this on January the 23rd, 2023, which is significant because LARP and the Real Girl in season, what is it? Season 8, episode 11. It aired January 23rd, 2013. We're recording this 10 years to the day of it airing, Krissy.
I can't believe it.
That's wild. We didn't plan it that way. I promise. Did not look that up. No one. It's a little freaky deaky. I'm not gonna lie.
We planned it several other ways that didn't pan out. We planned it the opposite of this way.
So now I'm sure like a vortex or a portal or something will open up by the end of this episode and we'll be swallowed up into hopefully a wonderful adventure. So
excellent.
I say let me get into, although Krissy, did you happen to write down what you drank when you watched this episode, created the game?
I didn't write down what I drank then.
Okay, what are you drinking right now?
Well, right now I'm drinking two things. I'm finishing up a Tom Hanks. Are you familiar with this?
Yeah, I am not.
So I guess Tom Hanks recently appeared on some talk show and was like, you know what the best drink is? Champagne and Diet Coke.
Oh.
So I'm having one of those that my husband made for me. And then as soon as that's finished, I'm going to move on to Ranch Water Ruby Red Grapefruit Hard Seltzer.
Nice. That'd be the Lone River Ranch Water?
That's right. That's exactly it. A taste of lime and grapefruit with a hint of agave nectar.
Out of Texas, I believe. How is the Tom Hanks? How is that?
It's quite nice. I don't know that this would be my go-to drink, but we have a ton of really mediocre champagne left over from New Year's Eve, so this might be the way
the most tolerable way to get it down.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, when I watched the episode LARP and the Real Girl, I had a Lagunitas Little Some Ale, which is
I love that one.
Nice a wheat IPA, and then tonight it is the Topo Chico Tropical Mango Hard Seltzer. While we record this episode 10 years after the episode, I still, every time I look down at this air date, just can't believe it.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so LARP and the Real Girl, season 8, episode 11. Our rules, that we played are thus: anytime someone dies, take a drink.
Sammy, we're playing the Sammy rule.
Yep.
As usual, taking a drink.
Anytime they give their agent names, which they do from time to time. Anytime they're like, I'm Agent Blank and this is Agent Blank, take a drink.
It's just a game. Take a drink.
Yep. This is a 2 drinks and or a shot rule. It's one of my favorite lines. These kids today with their texting and murder.
I got fake spell. Take a drink.
Yeah, anytime she throws a fake spell at someone. Anytime Charlie makes a pop culture reference. So not any pop culture reference. Anytime Charlie makes a pop culture reference.
Yeah. Charlie makes goo-goo eyes. Take a drink.
Yep. Another 2 drinker or shot is for another beautiful line of dialogue moment in this episode when Sam says it's belladonna and Dean and Charlie both in unison without missing a beat say the porn star.
Oh, so good.
So those are our rules for this episode.
Awesome. I say we get into it.
Ready to dive in?
Oh, I'm ready to dive in.
Okay. We start with then, which reminds us that Charlie is a hacker. Charlie Bradbury is a hacker who helped Sam and Dean defeat Dick Roman in season 7 when the Leviathans and the Biggersons Corporation were trying to take over the world. We also get reminded that Sam had a happy life with a girlfriend and Dean tricked him into leaving her and choosing the hunter life over her. Meanwhile, Dean had to break up with his boy toy, Benny, the sort of, was he a vampire? He was like a vampire guy.
He was a vamp that he met in
Purgatory.
Yes. That's like the closest friend Dean's ever had outside of
right. The closest friend, wink. You can't spell subtext without SEX.
Yeah, exactly. But yes.
So
Benny is from Purgatory.
Yeah, and he is there's a lot of Benny episodes, but so they both had bad breakups. So now,
which is funny because that is like their LARPing anyway. Those lives were like their LARPing because they weren't being true to themselves. They were trying to escape. It all fits anyway. Now,
well, Dean was definitely trying to escape.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a nerd who is on the phone talking. We don't know who. And he's saying things like, we both cut corners to get close to her. And it's just a game. Take a drink.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a drink.
Yeah.
Tom
tastes
Hanks.
like dead air.
And he goes to sleep. A creepy tree tattoo grows on his arm. And then, as the sound of hoofbeats thunders through his empty bedroom, he is ghost drawn and quartered.
Oof. Good job, props department.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
It is gross.
It is gross. They don't shy away from it.
Nope. We cut to the Impala where Sam and Dean are talking about how they have the demon tablet, and Kevin Tran is hard at work to figure it out, but until he does, they don't have anything to do. Dean, as ever, suggests they go to a bar and just have fun, and Sam's not having it. Guess who they get a call from, Nate?
Garth.
They get Garth.
Garth, who's like playing the Bobby role.
He is. He's tracking their cell phones as well as some other hunters so that he can give them assignments that are jobs that are close to wherever they are. So he's the one who tells them to go to this town where someone's been drawn and quartered in his locked apartment. And they get there right on time. But I love the line from Sam where he says, "We'll work a case. This will be our fun."
I like the line. Don't say that I've been Garth.
Yeah, don't say that we've been Garth. And Sam is really annoyed that they got Garth, but he's taking initiative. Like, go Garth.
Right? Garth, I mean, that's why one of the. I mean, it's a good side character episode. You get Charlie and you get Garth on the phone.
Yep.
Like, how do you can't go wrong here?
So we cut to the crime scene with the best sub character that has ever existed, the sheriff of this town, who is just living his best life and is the best sub character ever.
He's the sheriff in Oakland County, Farmington Hills area of Michigan, it seems, which is a suburb of Detroit. But he seems like southern and folksy.
Mm-hmm. But he is very like nonchalant. He's like, "It's your world, agent." Oh, we took a drink because they gave their agent names, and also someone died. So they're looking around, and the sheriff reveals that the neighbor thought they heard the sound of hoof prints, but they were probably either just hearing the TV or they were high as balls. But he reveals the cell phone clue, which leads them to Lance, who has been sending all these creepy "I am a mage" texts.
Yes.
So we jump to interrogating Lance. He's crying. He's literally crying, and he's like, "But those texts weren't from me. They were from Gray Fox, the Mystic, to Thargrim, the Difficult, in their Moondoor LARPing game." He's very sassy too. He's like, "We both cheated to get close to the queen, but I was gonna, get him in trouble for it. So I challenged him to a duel, wands and swords at dawn." And they were like, "Magic wands?" And he goes, "No, unmagic wands." "I want to take an unmagic wand to a duel." I love that guy. But that's his only moment of strength, because the rest of the time he's just crying and being like the world's biggest baby.
Yeah. But I like that he was like, "Of course they're magic wands, idiots."
Yeah, you're idiots.
What do you think I've been talking about this whole time?
So they dip out to watch a video about Moondoor and learn about this LARPing game that gets played every other weekend in this small town. And this weekend is a big weekend because all of the kingdoms are going to come together to fight to see who gets to become the new queen, or will the current queen get to stay queen? Guess what? It's our favorite beautiful ginger, Charlie Bradbury, played by Felicia Day. Felicia Day, we love you. Meanwhile, Lance, back in the interrogation room, grows the creepy tree tattoo and explodes with blood.
Ooh, yeah.
It's so gross.
They went with really kind of the real graphic stuff on these ones in this episode. Mm-hmm. They definitely got their blood budget in.
Yeah. It's like someone squeezed and popped him.
Yeah. Oh, and then they show it again.
They show it again.
They watch the video.
And the sheriff's like, "I'm going to go dip myself in a vat of hand sanitizer." He's my favorite. I love the sheriff. So, oops, someone else died. Take a drink. So then we're at the LARPing park, which looks like a full-on Renaissance fair. It's so elaborate.
Yeah. But it's every other weekend.
Right. And they just set the stuff up and tear it down in a public park. I find that very hard to believe.
And I mean, it's got to be a big park, because then there was remember they have the talk later on about how we have to move the battle
because there's a soccer game.
A soccer PV soccer league. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's not okay. So you've heard of the big giant LARP? It's like a 2-week long thing out in a field in Pennsylvania or something. You've heard of this?
No.
Have you ever heard of this? No.
No.
Okay. Well, it's a thing, and that's what this reminded me of, was like that. But obviously, yeah, the show's gonna make it a little more grandiose than something like this probably would be. I believe the movie Role Models is also what this reminded me of.
Oh yeah,
a little bit. Yeah, I actually sometimes when I try to get things straight about this episode. I'm like, wait, is that from Role Models, or am I thinking of this episode? But yeah, I'm gonna pull up. We'll keep talking about the episode. I'm gonna pull up what this big, this giant LARPing festival is.
Okay.
But it is like a Renaissance festival. You're right.
And so we meet a shadow orc being put in the stocks by Boldar the Curious.
Mhm.
And he is a very savvy LARPing man. He immediately clocks Sam and Dean for being fake agents. He like notices all of the little inconsistencies on their badges, and he's like, hey man, this isn't a crossplay. We're not doing time travelers. That's only on the second week of the month. You gotta follow the rules if you're gonna be here for the Battle of Champions or whatever. Nevertheless, he takes them to see our queen, Charlie, who's now going by the name Carrie Heinlein. We get an epic reveal of her as she is battling to find herself some new squires.
Mm-hmm.
She immediately...
That's where we get the first of her references.
Yes, she defeats a squire in battle, and he says, I love you. To which she replies, I know. She's like so disappointed to see Sam and Dean. She's packing up her stuff, and she's like, if you're here, then monsters are here too, which means I gotta kill myself again and start a new life. I mean, kill herself, like erase herself from existence and start a new life. But they reveal to her that Ed and Lance, who are two of her squires, have both died, and she realizes that she needs to sort of try and help her kingdom, which has had a string of bad luck with people getting weird, hospital-worthy, unexplainable injuries.
Yeah, like someone was hobbled. There was like they're like weird biblical type like injuries, or medieval, not biblical, but like medieval type injuries that are happening to her people.
Yep. And then the most important thing in the episode happens. Dean gets dressed up in costume. He gets dressed up in a very sexy, like chainmail thing. Well, Sam never does until the very end.
Yeah, because Dean, look, I mean, think the Western episode, right? Who is excited to get dressed up?
Dean is always has a childlike excitement.
Who's excited to be in Scooby-Doo? Dean. Like, he's always the one who's gonna be pumped to do even this thing, which is like very nerdy, right? And he should be like, total dorks, absolute freaking dorks, can't believe I'm even out here. He loves it. He loves it. Even the craft beer in the Party Young Garth episode, right? He's like, these nerds with their craft beer, and he's like, it's actually not half bad.
Yep. And he's giving her battle insight too. He's like, if you move your archers back, you can put your
that's one of my favorite parts. It's one of my favorite, and it's so subtle, and what I love about it too is it is so builds that awesome relationship that Charlie and Dean have. That moment right there is the relationship building and the character building. You know, we have this whole big episode with a lot of fun moments, a lot of fun lines and everything like that, but like that moment right there makes Charlie's arc, like, you know, especially the last part of Charlie's arc, just absolutely incredible because of her relationship with Dean. Anyway,
they have a special bond. Love Dean and Charlie.
Yes.
Sam, meanwhile, is in the media tent, or the modern tent, doing research about what the tree means and finding out more about all of the different people who have succumbed to these weird injuries, which were mostly the Queen's people, but not all the Queen's people. And the tree is representing some kind of fairy magic. It means you will become accursed by fairy magic.
Tree of Pain.
The Tree of Pain. It also, we learn, is the Shadow King's crest of the Orc realm, and that they're hanging out in the Shadow Woods or whatever, which is the park behind the playground.
Yes. So that's the part of this that I'm like, okay, what is this LARPing map? Because like, usually I feel like you do the LARPing and it's everybody out in the big, you know, and then you all meet in the middle of a big field or whatever. But like the fact that it was like, yes, there's these 3 kingdoms. We all have normal tents and setups, and we're all very close to one another. And then the orcs hang out in the trees.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, they're all like camping out there, it seems like. And so the orcs just like find a shadowy part behind the playground,
yeah,
and they don't want anyone to find them. So they like hide their little tents all around. That part seemed a little bit unbelievable to me.
yeah,
Which I mean, I understand it can't be a real LARPing situation. They would all
that's
be in
right.
like,
The
camping
fairy
tents.
stuff, all of that, buy
Yeah.
it. But the tent locations, the logistics of this LARP game, that is
That's
what
what I
is
have a
selling this
real problem
episode
with.
down the river for us.
We meet Boltar again as Charlie and Dean are searching for the orcs, and she refers to Dean as her handmaiden, and he just readily accepts that. Okay, Dean is a handmaiden, which means he's going to treat Dean like a handmaiden. Speak when spoken to, handmaiden. Charlie runs off alone. Dean, as he always does, trying to protect someone, unknowingly sends her off into danger. Oh, also, did we say we were going to make up the all-time rule if someone says the word gank?
Gank, yes.
And did I just write that
Yes.
in the middle, or did they say gank?
Oh no, they say gank. Dean says it when he says somebody's ganking. I forget, but yes, because I literally just wrote gank on my.
Me too. I'm like,
I have it just
Charlie
written down.
goes alone. She gets attacked by gets attacked by an orc and uses her fake magic. Take a drink, get rid of
Yeah.
it. She gets attacked by a real monster, and her fake spell doesn't work. And then I wrote the word gank (parentheses finish drink).
Boom.
All right, I guess they said gank.
Yeah.
Charlie wakes up.
No, they for sure do, because I watched the episode that we are going to do next at the same time as I watched this one, and they say gank in both of them. So yes, and it is, I think it's like right at this point when they have like the meeting, and that's when Dean says like
She got
people
ganked.
are getting ganked. Yeah, yeah.
Charlie wakes up in bed in a beautiful tent. There's a very scary, like, skull-faced monster who's just silently regarding her.
It looks like the can that you have.
Oh yeah, it does. It looks like it has like a cow's head skull.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah, it's like a steer head. Yeah. Her antlers. Yeah.
Boltar suggests to Sam and Dean that they do a prisoner exchange, and they exchange the orc they had in the stocks for the queen, which, like, I think if they had the queen, it would take more than just one orc in stocks,
Right.
but it's a great plan. That's when they find the tent by the creek, and the orc from the stocks is like, hey, if the queen is really missing and this is all really scary. Oh, because Dean like shoots at them also. He's like, this is not a game. He shoots at them. Yeah. And he's like, if the queen's really in danger, then you should check out this weird tent down by the creek. It's not one of ours, and it's not where it should be.
It's in a no tent zone.
It's in a no tent zone behind the playground, by the creek, in the world's largest park. This is like a national park. This isn't like a neighborhood park.
It's a big park. I feel like there's parks that have lots of different areas and locations and fields and nooks and crannies. I know when I lived in Atlanta, there were several large parks that took up lots of room.
I guess so.
We live in a place, Krissy, with not very good parks.
Anything that I could think of like this would have dangerous desert. Like, you would be dying in the desert. You wouldn't survive. So meanwhile, Charlie and the fairy are revealing that she reveals herself to be a beautiful fairy, and she says that she's been trapped by a magic spell to do the bidding of her master, and it started off just as injuring people, but now she's had to kill for him, and she just wants to go home. And sparks fly between Charlie and this fairy. And as soon as Dean and Sam shows up, As soon as Dean and Sam show up, Charlie's like, "Hey, dudes, if the tents are rocking, don't come a knocking."
Don't come a knocking.
All of a sudden, we reveal that her master is there, and guess who it is, Nate?
It's the guy with the bad guy name that we've met in the beginning of the episode. His name is Boltar.
Boltar.
It's not a good guy name.
No.
That is a bad guy name. It's a villain name, antagonist name. Boltar is not a good guy.
No, it's not. And he reveals that he got this book of magic and he trapped this fairy because the only thing he has in life is Moondoor. There's nothing but Moondoor. He couldn't abide by the cheating, so Lance and Ed had to die because he was going to convince the queen that he should be the king. And he's just taking this whole thing way too seriously, dude. And Dean, it's just a game, right? It's just a game. And Dean immediately is like, "Oh, you're a loser in the real world and you're a loser in here too." And he, like, of course, like a loser, loses his mind and has the fairy turn his sword into a real sword so that he and Dean can have a real sword, foam sword fight. While the fairy animates in the first of several Harry Potter-like moments, animates a suit of armor to wrestle with Sam. The fairy reveals to Charlie that they have to destroy the book in order to break the spell. And in our second Harry Potter moment, she stabs it with a fancy dagger, but not without having her very quippy moment of saying, "Hey, Jean," which is Boltar's real name, "I'm the one who saves damsels in distress around here." And then she stabs the book and it dies like a Horcrux.
Yep. Just like a Horcrux. And then the fairy has to take Boltar back to the fairy tribunal for sentencing.
Mm-hmm. Which is very convenient because what would Sam and Dean do with him? Take him to the police?
Right? Yeah.
I don't think so. You're gonna turn him into the sheriff.
They got to the end of this and they're like, "Guys, what are we gonna?
How about the fairy just takes him away?"
Yeah, she just
they poof him away. But I would love to see the scene that they tried to write where they're like, they take him to the sheriff, and the sheriff's just like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, we needed to get that sheriff back in there one more time. We needed one more.
I wanted that sheriff to be the new Jody, Jody and Donna, and this sheriff.
Yeah, and this guy.
Yeah. We have so they smooch and say goodbye. We get the BM scene where Sam and Dean are like, "Okay, we'll just move on because we don't get to have fun." But Sam lets them go to the battle.
Of course.
They look
and we get
so cute in their LARP clothes as they're gonna fight for Charlie. Dean is doing the Braveheart freedom speech.
Yes, it's the only speech he knows.
Except they have to hold as a frisbee comes careening in, and a guy comes and picks it up, and he's like, "Sorry." Oh, hightails it out of there. He doesn't know what he's getting into. And then it ends with scrolling text that many orcs and fairies and mages and everyone died in the Battle of the Moon, but the queen got to keep her kingdom. And of course, Charlie decides that she's going to stay in her life, and her current life is worth fighting for. And that's, that's LARP and the real girl.
Yeah. And I love also the scene earlier when there's like some sort of underling as Charlie is giving Dean the tour, and Charlie's like, "Come meet me in my tent later." Dude, it's good to be, and that's one of her references. Is it's good to be the queen.
It's good to be the queen.
I love it. This is such a fun episode. This is a really great one. This is one, if we are thinking of mashup again, this would be super fun to do.
This would be a good one.
I don't know how we would do the LARPing aspect of it, but it would be fun.
Yeah, we'd have to get someone who can play the flute to be like,
but yeah, you get a good monster of the week.
It's funny.
You get decent. Yeah, it's funny. It's heartfelt. a great side character, one of the best, side characters in the whole show.
It's Charlie, but then even the minor characters are really delightful.
Yeah.
Even the people we'll never meet again are really delightful.
Right. Super fun. The guy playing Boltar is good. Again, his name was Boltar. You knew he was bad from the beginning.
Anytime Dean is in some kind of special costume, then that's a special episode. If Dean's dressed up as anything other than Dean Winchester, that's a go-to.
Any non-flannel episode.
Yep. And I remember seeing this one, like this episode used to play on TNT a lot, and so I would see it on the TV at the gym.
Just at 8 a.m.
Yep, exactly. So how did our rules play out? I think I got a really careful count on this one. So I'm hoping that we match up this time better than we usually do.
Okay.
All right. Rule number 1. Take a drink anytime someone dies. 2 people died.
I've got 2. Yeah, 2 people die. One we knew their name. But when they
match up. Woo! Woo! I got 1 time Sam corrects his name.
Yeah, I got Sammy. Yeah, 1. Yeah, 1.
Agent names, which are Rosewood and Taggart, which is from Beverly Hills Cop.
I got
2.
I got twice.
Yeah, me too. Yay! So far we are matching up. I don't think we've ever done that before.
Woo-hoo.
Of course, both of the shot/2 drinkers are only going to happen once. How many times do you get? It's a game. It's just a game.
I got it 4 times.
Same.
Nice.
My original count was 5, but when I went back and watched it again, it was 4.
My original count was 4, and when I watched it again, it was 3. But that time I watched it again was after I watched. I was not in the best state the second time.
Played too many drinking game rules.
I played too many games in a row.
How many pop culture references did you get for Charlie?
13.
13? I only got 7. I listed
really?
them.
So did I.
I Love You, I Know. Cthulhu.
Yep.
Have Fun Storming the Castle.
Oh, you got one that I didn't, because I didn't count Cthulhu. Okay, well, Have Fun Storming the Castle. Yeah, that's my
I'm
next
Charlie
one.
Bradbury, and I'm here to rescue you.
Yes.
The Vulcan reference. Or she does the Vulcan salute.
Oh, yeah. I guess
Smell You Later. And Call Me Maybe.
Yeah, I got Call Me Maybe. Okay, I also have Blurg.
Oh, okay. I didn't count that.
She says Blurg, which I figure is now a 30 Rock, right? Let's see. Oh, all her tabletop references, as she's listing all her favorite tabletop role-playing games.
No, I didn't count those.
I counted those as she says frack at one point. So that's a Battlestar Galactica reference. I
missed all those. They all just walked
I'm
me.
I'm just a girl standing in front of
a monster. Yeah.
She does the yeah. My name is Charlie Bradbury. I'm here to rescue. Call Me Maybe. Oh man, my handwriting as it got towards the bottom of the page got so bad. Oh, I think I just wrote out the speech from Bradbury.
Oh,
which whatever.
That's
not
not
really
hers.
like a reference, but you got the Cthulhu. I have one more written here, but I can't read my terrible handwriting. But it's fine. There were lots of them, and obviously there were some we each caught, and so it's probably close to like 15 or 16.
Well, it's probably somewhere in the middle between my 7 and your 16.
Yeah, somewhere
right.
in there.
I got 4 fake spells.
I got 3, but I probably missed. I'm for sure. Wonder if I missed the one.
The one that Boltar does. At the beginning?
Or the second one when Charlie does the 2 in a row. I wonder if I just didn't count the second one.
Okay.
Either one.
And then Charlie makes goo-goo eyes. I counted 5 times.
So did
Okay.
I. Wow, that's probably the best we've ever done on
that
matching
is
up.
The best we've ever done.
Nice.
On matching up. So, what's coming up next?
Oh, what's coming up next? You say.
I say.
You say. Okay. What's coming up next is season 3, episode 13.
Why, Nate? Isn't that the
Ghost
Facers?
Ghost Facers! Listen, y'all. We will handle the ghosts when the others will not. And if you can't stay, you better stay in the kitchen when the kitchen gets hot. I love the song. So that is the next episode, Ghost Facers. The rules we're playing, I should have written out separately and neater than the scribble scrabble that I have from designing the game. But here we go. I'm going anytime they say Ed or Harry, just like solo, right? Like not like, but when it's just that's the line, Ed or Harry, take a sip. If they say them both back to back, take like a full drink. Ghost Facers, like in the purest form, any of its pure forms, just Ghost Facers. So once again, not just like they say Ghost Facers a lot, so don't be like taking a drink every time they say it. But when it's like Ghost Facers and like in the song, again, play however you want to play. They say it a lot, but like, take a sip, or again, if you just want to do it like do the song as its own deal and then play the rest of the episode, you should be fine. Obviously we're playing the gank rule as always. Anytime there's a death echo, take a drink. Anytime there's a bleep, we're taking a drink. We're playing the Sammy rule, and then we are bringing out the salt circle rule, and that is take a drink for the salt circle and take 2 drinks if they leave the salt circle. Take 2 drinks for every person that leaves the salt circle every time they leave the salt circle.
I don't know about that. Okay. I can't wait for Ghost Facers. An excellent choice. And I don't know what I'm going to do after that. I'm going to have to do some really deep thinking to decide what I'm going to do after Ghost Facers. But
there were a couple that I wanted to do, but I thought you might choose them. And then you were like, Ghost Facers, I have it memorized. I'm like, oh great, I did choose the one that you probably were going to do next. But we could talk about that off the air. I had a couple in mind for sure.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait. Thank you so much for listening and spending some time with us. We hope you enjoyed LARP and The Real Girl. While you're listening, if you want to do a little bit more, if you want to go that extra mile, then like, rate, review, please do all that stuff. Help people find us. If you want to really be in the salt circle of connection with us, then that's what it should be called. It should be called the Salt Circle.
The Salt Circle of Connection.
Then go to True Story FM and become a member. You get episodes 1 week early, and you get a little bit of bonus content with each episode. Today's bonus content is we're going to share with you some trivia about this episode. Episode. Yeah. So again, thanks for listening. And while you're out there in the world saving people and hunting things, the family business, make sure to keep your lessons learned in mind.
It's just a game.
And if the tents are rockin', don't come a knockin'. And be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.
Party on, dudes.